And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Well, fire danger for Tuesday, it will moderate considerably through the southern 2/3 of the state with cooler temperatures and showers, but fuels are still very dry in the northwest from the Koyukuk drainage to the coast, and thunderstorms may cause a few ignitions in the deep duff fuels that remain quite dry across the north. And for the outlook, precipitation is likely for much of Alaska this week, slowing fires. So fire crews will continue to work on the perimeters and hotspots, ensuring activity will stay low when skies clear. And for this evening, there's still red flag warnings out here from Ambler to Galena, eastward across the greater Fort Yukon area there, across the Koyukuk Valley, on over to the border. And that's until 10 p.m. tonight for possible lightning strikes that could cause some new fire ignitions. And for the forecast fire danger here for Spruce for tomorrow, you can see low conditions now through much of the central interior, all the way down into south central Alaska, the Bristol Bay. Some very high and some isolated areas of extreme fire danger here over the Noatak Valley areas and just to the east of the Seward Peninsula. Satellite imagery today, wet conditions here across the southeast coast with a front pushing through, another system bringing rain into the central and southern panhandle this afternoon, and some clouds extending back to the west here and across south central Alaska, rain to the Copper River Basin on down to the North Gulf Coast this afternoon with scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms, central interior, an Arctic front bringing chillier temperatures falling into the 30s today along the Arctic coast there with cooler conditions across the north slope into the Brooks Range. And then out to the west, we have this weakening front bringing a little bit of moisture into the eastern Aleutians and back just southwest of the Pribilof Islands. And for the forecast for tonight, here's that Arctic front up to the north here. Not too much precipitation expected in the west here, but could be some mixed precipitation at the lowering freezing level, especially in the Brooks Range, higher elevation, seeing some light snow with mixed precipitation all the way down to sea level out toward the eastern Arctic coast. South of the Brooks Range, areas of showers and rain increasing here for the Yukon Flats southwestward along the Yukon River Valley area and to the south into the northern Kuskokwim Valley and down to the Alaska Range. South of the mountains, though, showers end over south central Alaska. Stays mostly cloudy, though, and diminishing showers for the Copper River Basin on down toward the North Gulf Coast. And after picking up about a half-inch of rain today at Metlakatla, Ketchikan, and Petersburg. It'll stay showery tonight with areas of light rain, but won't be quite as heavy as what you saw today. Otherwise dry here, Kodiak Island, Bristol Bay, and much of the Bering Sea with this weak system here keeping it wet for Adak and Atka, and that pushing moisture in across the eastern Aleutians. For tomorrow, that front kind of rotates up toward the western Alaska Peninsula, bringing rainfall possibly as far east as Sand Point and Cold Bay and extending back to Atka Island, drying out for Adak and areas to the west. Areas to the north, dry, light winds. Mostly sunny here over the Seward Peninsula again from Norton Sound up in toward the Noatak Valley. Could be some mixed precipitation here with the chillier air in over the eastern Arctic coast, north slope into the Brooks Range. South of the Brooks Range, though, south of the crest of the mountains, that'll all in the form of rain with showers, isolated thunderstorms over the Copper River Basin, Kuskokwim Valley along that trough, and some afternoon shower activity over the mountainous terrain of south central Alaska, Copper River Basin, and some showers for the North Gulf Coast, and showery conditions continue for the southeast coast. And for Wednesday, high pressure developing here dries it out over the southern panhandle. Still some lingering showers over the northern areas there. Scattered showers North Gulf Coast, Copper River Basin, south central Alaska. Numerous showers here and areas of rain along this trough in the central interior up to the upper Tanana Valley 40-mile country. Northward into the Brooks Range, eastern Brooks Range, stays dry out here over the northwest part of the state. Southward, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, dry conditions with partly sunny skies. Dry over the Bering Sea. This system keeps it wet for the Alaska Peninsula, spreading rain into Kodiak Island, north into Bristol Bay there, And then out to the west, another system here making an appearance onto the chart that on Thursday just kind of takes off to the east here, brings a chance of some moisture there for Adak and Atka. Another weak system up here to the north, not really affecting anything at all except out over the northwest Bering Sea, far western Bering Sea, northwest here, maybe some light rain. That's about it. You can see light wind conditions continue for the southern Bering Sea. Showers across southern Alaska, a little drier here in the central and northern interior now, all the way to the Arctic coast with light winds. Stronger system here pushing gusty winds and rain into the southeast coast throughout the day. Increasing rain for the North Gulf Coast with this low center, and it stays wet over Kodiak Island and the southern Kenai Peninsula. Looking at the low temperatures for tonight, down to 30 to 35 for the north slope in the Arctic coast into the Brooks Range. Anatuvik forecast low 31 degrees. What a change that is. And in the 40s and 50s across the remainder of the state. Highs for tomorrow, 60s, lower 70s in the central interior, 30s and 40s from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast. Otherwise, 50s and 60s here southern Alaska, mostly in the upper 50s for the Panhandle, upper 40s to lower 50s out over the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And then for the lows on Wednesday morning, upper 20s there around Anatuvik Pass to lower 30s for the remainder of the north slope in the Arctic coast, with 40s here, 40s and 50s in the interior, all the way down to Kodiak Island, mostly in the 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, upper 40s to lower 50s for the Panhandle. That'll be followed by highs down that way, upper 50s, lower 60s, and in the 60s here across much of the central and southern interior, cooler 40s from the north slope, Brooks Range area, and then mid 30s for portions of the Arctic coast.